Okay. First of all, let me say thank you for even watching the video and taking the time to even leave a comment. That being said, this video is not going to be a return fire or anything like that at you as a person, who is taking the time to, do what I've just mentioned. All right. Now, that being said, I wanted to focus on this particular comment because I've been getting comments with this particular theme, on several of my videos concerning Star Trek Starfleet Academy. Now, first, I'm not going to belittle anybody's viewpoints when it comes to their interpretation of what they like as far as entertainment or art, okay? Because art is subjective, all right? So I'm never going to be like, oh man, you don't like it, man, and I like it, then, blasphemy on you. No, no, not that. You don't like it, that's cool, all right? As a matter of fact, I normally like to encounter people who have differences of opinions when it comes to my things that I like in entertainment and art because it makes for some very interesting conversations. Now, that being said, um, when you dive into the reasons why people don't like certain things or why people feel that they feel the way that they do about certain forms of art, you start to develop a certain view or blueprint of their personalities. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about because I don't want to focus on this comment. Actually, I wanted to focus on another comment, which I would have put here, but I didn't really want to go into trying to locate it. But basically, I'm paraphrasing. The comment was basically along the lines of, I see that you defend Jaden, which is a Klingon character in Star Trek, all right? And he's been getting a lot of hate because he's been basically a gay Klingon, which again, I've tried to make a video explaining why that's odd in canon, right? But that's just been based on established canon. Now, that being said, I've also said that Jaden is one of my favorite characters, and his episode 1 4, right, Vox in Excelso, I thought so far is one of the great episodes of new Star Trek. But first of all, second, I'm never gonna get upset. I'm never gonna get emotional about a person's viewpoint or comments, right? Because a person's uh, emotions or ignorance, right, basically isn't the spark to the kindle of my emotions. All right, so we can have an adult conversation. So basically, the comment was something along the lines of, "I see that you defend Jaden. He's a gay character. So that, or, are you gay? You must be gay then, right?" Now, I thought to myself, wow, that is a very interesting thought experiment. So to defend something means you are, therefore, that thing, right? So if you think about it, if you expand that out, if you expand that logic, that particular thought process out, that train of thought, right? If you ride in that rail, right? Therefore, that would mean a person or a group of individuals who say defend animals, right? Therefore, they must be animals. If I see a young lady being assaulted and I come to her defense, that must therefore then make me a young lady. If that's the case, in that situation, who's the man? Right? Who's the man in that situation, right? So I decided, oh, okay, that's just a crazy train of thought. So I figured I would offer another train of Captain Ake in Star Trek Starfleet Academy said something that was very interesting to me. Judgment without context doesn't create trust. So, in what context of Jaden being gay makes a person not like Star Trek Starfleet Academy? In what context does a person being obese makes a person not like Star Trek Starfleet Academy? In what context does Captain Ake being laid on a chair in a certain kind of way make a person not like Star Trek Starfleet Academy? In what way does having a Jem'Hadar Klingon hybrid, um, in what way, right? Does that take away from the story? In essence, I believe it adds a lot to the story. I believe it was Captain Benjamin Lafayette Sisko who said that the purpose of Starfleet isn't to search for answers to questions, but for more questions. Now, Star Trek Starfleet Academy has given us the opportunity to expand canon by being 1,000 years in the future, it is basically almost a clean slate. And through the eyes and the themes of Star Trek Starfleet Academy, I believe, right, it gives us the opportunity to explore a lot of modern day themes. And believe it or not, right, there are many diverse individuals who not only have a different and subjective viewpoint when it comes to art and entertainment, but those same viewpoints exist personally in their everyday lives. So to say that you don't like something, form of art or something like that, simply because of a narrow-minded viewpoint based on someone's race or physique or anything like that, right? Is, I believe, a lack of imagination, right? And it only goes to serve one of two purposes: either show, like I said, a lack of imagination, or um, you have imagination but a lack of diversive thought, in which case bigot or racist. And so I know there's going to be people who probably would disagree with that viewpoint, right? But the thing is simply this, and I'll end in closing with this. Starfleet is based on an anthropological type of approach, meaning the prime directive. Starfleet will go, they will talk to, they will mingle with, they will help, they will assist in any way that they can, except for changing the culture and the direction of their civilization. They can go and appreciate, study, right? Make alliances with, without interfering with the culture of that civilization. They can appreciate, respect the religions, the viewpoints. Think of the wormhole aliens and how Keiko handled that school situation with the Bajorans. Right? All of these situations and instances have been throughout all of Star Trek canon. So when you now say, "Well, I don't like new Star Trek," is it because of the writing? Yeah, new Star Trek writings is, especially Discovery. Is it because of the break of canon? Is it because of the Is it because they betrayed the traditional personalities of classic and legacy characters, right, and storylines and civilizations and races, right? Is it because they play willy nilly with what Star Trek is supposed to be, or is it because a person is gay or fat? I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments.